General Shankar Prasad, let me ask you, what is your emotion and thought when you see the kind of display on the streets of our country over the last 24 to 48 hours?
Anand, disgust and disturbing. I am so shocked to see the way people have reacted. I can assure you, you're sitting in Brussels, but I can assure you, Anand, these are not the people who wanted to actually join the army or the armed forces. These are the people who have been collected to protest by some political parties for their political gains. I have no hesitation in saying that. I do not know which party they would belong to or which party wants to burn the country. But it is so evident that such a thing is happening across the country where all these people are getting together on similar targets like railways and stations and such like activity and burning them. Obviously there is some high level of consultation and directions given on various WhatsApp groups. It is most disgusting and I condemn it absolutely. Now come back to the point. Is this a good system or is it a good scheme that the government has taken out, or is it not so good? Well, there are two parts to it, Anand. One is what the government's responsibility in this scheme is, or what is the military responsibility in these schemes is. I must state at the very beginning that the military has accepted this proposal after discussion or whatever they may have done. I'm not privy to it, I'm not aware of it. But the fact is, all pros and cons the military must have consulted, must have discussed. But my view is, and I want to underline it, that whatever be the situation, the army is going to make a success of it. Why do I say this? I say this because army has no failures. Army never accepts a failure. And therefore this scheme will also be success as far as the army is concerned. Now I come to the next point. What is going to be the effect of this really down at the unit level? That is something which I need to talk about. At a unit level, when you get a man from Agnipath scheme, he will hardly be in a unit for just about 3 years, maybe even less. 6 months of training, few months of holidays or things like that. Finally it comes to 3 years or even less. What training are we giving him? 6 months as against 9 months in a regimental center, reduced to 6 months. What training has he achieved? Maybe good enough to join the combat forces. But when he comes to a unit, today we've all been talking about modern equipments, modern high-tech equipments, high-tech army, high-tech everything. Every arm and service in the army today is getting high-tech, including what people think is non-technical is the infantry. You rightly introduced me as Director General Infantry. Today, while artillery and armoured corps and signals and engineers are very much high-tech, so is the infantry. And the infantry has pelotras of weapons. We have equipment like night vision equipment, drones, radio sets of varieties of type, varieties of weapons, small arms. We have missiles. We have anti-tank weapons, MMGs, varieties of things. And most importantly, we have minor tactics. That is the most important part of training. Therefore, when you have out of 100% in a unit, 80% are those who are regulars, who have gone through proper training, who have gone through proper courses. Let me also clarify here for the benefit of my two other colleagues also, and I'm sure that Kulkarni will definitely support. He's also been a Director General Infantry. After finishing the training at the infantry, at the regimental center, when a person comes to the unit, he is given through a young cadre, young soldiers cadre. Then he is found out as to which direction he is going. Firstly, he serves in an infantry section where he is one amongst the 11 guys. The 10 guys are with him. Thereafter, he trains in the unit on various weapons. He trains at the infantry school on various weapon courses. By the time he reaches a service of 6 or 7 years, he is able to lead an independent mission. What will happen today? As I said in the beginning, the army will never have a failure. Neither will the infantry battalion see that it have a failure. All what will happen on an infantry battalion or a regiment or equivalent in other arms and services, that the commanding officers will be put under a little pressure. Commanding officers today will never accept a failure. Doesn't matter how difficult, whether it's a Uri task, whether it's killing a militant in Kashmir, whether it is fighting the Chinese in Galwan or climbing the climbing Kailash ranges or Dokulam. Nobody is going to come back as a failure. No commanding officer is going to accept that. So what is he going to do? He is going to select the most competent people whom he has faith in, whom he has seen for a while, and only use them. Therefore, the optimum capability that he's got of 100% will now somewhat reduce. He would not like to take a failure. He would not even want to risk it. That's one part. I leave the army for a moment because I am now beginning to say the other side. Please give me a minute's hearing on that as well. The government's policy is a very good policy for a long-term national building. Now there are 2-3 things. Firstly, you have huge unemployment. This will generate employment. There is a tremendous pressure on pensions. Pension bills will reduce. There is a possibility when person serves for 4 years in the army, he'll go out as a better human being, more disciplined. He'll walk up in a manner that will be distinguished from the others. So overall, it will have an impact on the society in the country. Yes, all of that is very good. But now what we have to see is, why is this burning taking place? Because people are under the impression that after 4 years or 3.5 years, whatever it is, they go out, they will be absolutely in the lurch without a job. I said it in the beginning. These are not the people who are joining the army, nor are we going to take them. But whoever goes out must be told certain things. Now the army, 3 years in the army, we have to give them opportunity to develop skills. We have to develop military skills. We have to develop other skills. We have to give them a chance to study if they want to. So at the end of it, a man who goes out after 3.5 years service will not only have military training, but also be motivated to study and improve his knowledge in various fields. The certificates are not so important. What is important is this, that if he comes as a BA or an intermediate, he goes back better. And what happens then? The government should announce a scheme to say all those who come out of the Agniveer scheme will be able to appear for examinations. Examinations for entry to police, examinations for entry to the civil services. People will come as MAs also.
Well,
and if they are willing to study and willing to do well.
Sir, the Home Ministry...
1 minute, Anand, 1 minute.
Pardon me for interrupting
give me a chance, Anand, just give me a little chance. Anand, just give me a little chance. So all what I'm not saying government has said it or not said it. I'm just saying these are the things that will make a guy motivate to join the army for 3-4 years, get some amount of money, and then go back and expect. What happens to the emergency commissioned officers? If they served in the army for X number of years, half of it was given as seniority. All those things, if are available, people will be motivated. But the most important thing that I want to make is that this scheme is going to be made a success by the military. The government must play its own part now. But this vandalism is not acceptable, and anybody who's found in these videos will never be taken into the military.
True, and I accept it in all spirit that you've said, but the government has already said, sir, that they will be eligible and they will be preferred and considered for CAPF and para positions. The Home Minister said it the very next day, or in fact the same day that the scheme was announced, he had tweeted and he had spoken about it. The other aspect is at least 25% of the recruits under the Agnipath program will make it for permanent permanent commission. For permanent commission, they will stand there eligible. And the point is, it is also voluntary that if they want to continue to apply and press for permanent commission or 15-year service, they will be allowed to do that. The Home Minister very clearly said that all those people who come under the Agnipath scheme, he has tweeted about it. I remember reading it very clearly.
Yeah, all that is fine. Anand, just give me 1 more second. You know, for the last 30 years, my 2 colleagues are sitting on the panel. For the last 30 years, if not more, we have been saying in the military that we retire our people very young at the age of 32, 35, and they should be laterally absorbed in the paramilitary forces and other police forces. I'm sorry to say, it has not happened. The police forces have not taken our soldiers who have retired
No,
at 32,
sir, now they are
35.
saying, sir, he has given a commitment now that it will happen. He has said, he has... Sir,
yes,
so
sure,
we have to now say, he has said. So I'm just saying, General Shankar Prasad, please... I'm requesting you to please yield. Let me bring in General Kulkarni and also General Arya here now. General Kulkarni.